So it's way bigger than the previous kitchen because it used to just be this, but we added the corridor toilet.
So the toilet used to be...
The toilet was right here.
Can you sit on the toilet? Yeah.
Here. So someone will be here on the toilet and then you will need to like walk past them to go to the terraza.
Hey Spain lovers, welcome back. This is the channel where we help you explore Spain, experience Spain like a true local.
As you know, we recently bought a house in Madrid and we've had a lot of questions asking to make a house tour video.
So we were thinking, well, we don't know how to make a house tour video. I've never done one before. It sounds like a very YouTube-y kind of thing to do. Yeah. So I put a question out on Instagram and said, what do you guys want to see? And got a whole bunch of replies back, things that I didn't really expect. You wanted to see before and after pictures from the renovation we did. You wanted to see our favorite books, our favorite room. You wanted to know where the wine is. Where is the wine, James? So that's what we thought we'd do. We'll take you through our house. We're sitting out here on the terrace here in the morning. We'll be back here, but we wanted to get out here before the sun hits. I will show you around the house, room to room, the whole bit. So grab a cup of coffee or a glass of cava. I would suggest a glass of cava. Well, it's 11 a.m. here. Sit back, relax, and we're gonna take you through our home and give you our very first house tour video.
Hey, welcome to our new house.
Come on in. So here's the thing. House tours are kind of supposed to start at the beginning, right? I feel like you're supposed to start in the entryway, but that's complicated because the entryways are generally the most boring part in the house, but there are some stories here in the entryway. First of all, it was much bigger. When we bought the house, it was this grandiose, kind of incredible, gilded, regal royal entry chamber. I kind of like that style. It's very un-New Zealand, but we weren't gonna keep that.
No way.
We weren't gonna keep that. So we built a bathroom and we reduced the entry. And I must warn you, the house is not finished. We've still got work to be done. We've got pictures to hang, we've got furniture to buy. So we're gonna need your advice during this house tour. This is a house tour and a house consultation, and you guys are the consultants.
Thank you, guys.
Let us know in the comments. We're gonna ask a bunch of questions. So, how do we zhuzh up this little hallway? Because really right now, this is where we keep shoes and masks. See, there's all these shoes down here and it's kind of disgusting and we really don't know what to do with it. I've seen on IKEA shoe things, where you stick shoe things. Yoly saw a thing on IKEA and it was almost like a shoe wardrobe, which looked a little too intense for me to take up this whole wall. So, I don't know, what do we do with the shoes? What do you guys do with your shoes? Need your advice. One option we have got is to hang a mirror up here, right?
Yeah, funny you should mention because we actually have 2 spare mirrors. We bought this bathroom furniture and it came with a mirror, and then the builder was like, there's no mirror inside the package. So I was like, oh really, okay. So I contacted the company and said, there is 1 mirror missing here. And so they sent one. And in the meantime, the builder had a look again and he was like, actually no, the mirror is inside. We have 2 spare mirrors. One I think could go here. It could be quite nice to have that. And then the other one, well, if you guys are interested, get in touch.
So I mentioned that we took the big royal regal entryway and we turned it into a small entryway with a bathroom. Well, let me show you the bathroom. This is kind of painful, like it's a bathroom, but you know, hey, it's a house tour, right? You got to see the house.
What part of the bathroom?
Come on into the small bathroom. So one of the things is in our old apartment, used to live in, we had like a separate bathroom. And so this one only had 1 bathroom, this house. So we wanted to create another one. So we did. So it's small, it's simple. I don't know what to tell you about it. And I wasn't 100% convinced, but one of the things Yoly wanted was marble. Well, faux marble, I guess. Is it real marble?
I reckon it is.
Not sure. But it's not the expensive stuff. But well, I kind of like it. A little bit retro, so marble floors.
And one of the things that James was very keen on was one of these rain shower head things. And I think he stayed in a really expensive hotel once and he just wanted to have that at home. So I'm always very anti spending money, but this actually worked out quite cheap in the end. So I think it's pretty normal, you know, nowadays to have one of these.
In the end, James actually doesn't use it that much and he feels a bit guilty about it.
And I use it.
Yoly uses it. That's marriage. So welcome to the living room. This was the living room previously and the previous owner. So we haven't done too much. I mean, we've done a lot. We've made it all our own furniture. We took down the chandelier. These places also had kind of like faux chandeliers and things like that. You'll notice that we have no lamps yet. We still need to do all the fixtures like that. This is not some sort of postmodern look we're doing where we just have hanging bulbs.
This is where I work. The office that James is using is a little bit too untidy for me at the moment. I like the light here coming through the window. I like the space, so I feel better working here. And like that, I get to miss James during the day too.
Nice. So here's the thing with the lounge, with the salon, is that it's kind of finished, but kind of not. We've got the bookshelves. We need to hang art. It's just resting against the wall. But the big one is we need the sofa. That's going to kind of complete the space. Right now we have this tiny little thing that is kind of uncomfortable and you know, pretty basic. So we want to get one of those cornery kind of sofas. So we love hanging paintings, we love having art on the walls. This I love. This is a photo of Wellington, where I was born. It's a hilly city and there's houses almost in layers, so that's quite a famous photo of Wellington. This is not where I grew up. This is a Rothko. That would be, maybe that's my mental state, but this is a painting we had hanging above our bed in our last place, and we don't quite know where to put it, but I love it. I don't know what it means. What does it make you guys think of? Makes me think of, I don't know, sunset in the desert.
Okay.
Yeah? What does it make you think of, Yoly?
Colored stripes.
Nice. Nice imagination there. And also I like this because I have a thing for strong colors. I love artwork with really intense, you know, blues and reds and yellows. You're going to find out why a little bit later in the video. So what about these chairs?
These chairs, beautiful. They came with the house. And I was like, well, they're really cool. And then I cleaned them and yeah, I was feeling like, oh, they're really just beautiful. I want to like cover them. I want to do something. I don't quite know yet. So let me know if you guys have any ideas of what to do with these chairs, because they're just beautiful.
So someone asked a question about our bookshelf or our bookshelves and the books that we have. When I was early teens, I went through a phase of spending all my pocket money on secondhand books. Okay, there's a decent amount of books here. There's more in New Zealand. Every time we go back and visit my parents, I fill up a suitcase. So slowly I'm bringing my books back to me. I just love having books. I love to smell books. And so
that's not a bit weird.
I love to smell books. And so when we were setting this up, Yoly said she wanted the books organized thematically. I was resistant, but in the end, I think it's a good idea. So what are the themes? How have we got this? So on the bookshelf on the left-hand side, we have at the top, it's all about Spain. Love reading about Spain, obviously. And then going a little bit further down, we have cooking books, food books, Spain as well, but non-Spain. Then going further down, this is where my legs give out. Oh, here my knees crack. And then we have wine books, and we have art books. And then if we keep going down, I can get more hunched. Then we have
history, a bit of flamenco, and psychology.
Urban Tantra, is that yours? Not mine. And then down the bottom here, we have dictionaries and things. The most fascinating of which is the famous The Middle Class, a history. Haven't read that one. Speaking of which, a lot of these books I haven't read. When I was going through my phase of collecting books, it was kind of like collecting baseball cards. There was books that I wanted to read, but there was books I wanted to just have. Things like Ovid's The Metamorphoses. Haven't read it.
It's here. Show off.
Kind of, yeah. I'll show you some of those on the other side. So then this is the fiction side, all 100% fiction. If I had to pick one book that I recommend that you read out of all of these, it would be this one. Gabriel García Márquez, 100 Years of Solitude. The first line, I think, is the best first line in literature. I'm going to read it in English. It was not written in English, it was written in Spanish. Many years later, as he faced the firing squad, Colonel Aureliano Buendia was to remember that distant afternoon when his father took him to discover ice. What a line. What a line. He should have stopped there. So you'll notice how this wall is very smooth and silky. Well, it wasn't always like that. When we bought the apartment, this building was built in the 1960s. The walls on the inside here had gotelé. So they're all bumpy and crackly. I think it's called popcorn paint in the States. And it's a style that was used during the 60s and 70s in Spain, particularly to hide imperfections. But it looks a bit old-fashioned. The guy who did the work on the renovation, he kind of hated it because he had to go in there with his men and sort of sand it all back, which apparently is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's always bad news for them.
Silky smooth.
Okay. To your left, James.
Camera right, camera left.
We have a map of Toulouse. This is the map that I used when I moved to Toulouse with two of my friends from university, and we used this map to find an apartment.
And why is Toulouse important?
And Toulouse is very, very important because it's the city where James and I met. So this is a lovely memory of it. Hola, l'amour. And well, you know, I'm so in love with the city that I even kissed the map one day. James got this framed for me for a birthday, so that was one of the loveliest presents that he's ever given me. It was great.
So we spent a summer in Cadaqués. We spent a week one summer in Cadaqués.
I used to live in Cadaqués.
I used to summer in Cadaqués. So a few years back, we spent 4 days in a tiny bedroom in Cadaqués, and I bought this. Now, as well as strong colors, I like boats, which is strange because I'm not a good boat person. I get a bit wonky and uncomfortable on the water and things like that, but I love boats, I love strong colors. This theme is going to run through all my art.
And this is not very colorful yoga mat. This is a jarapa. A jarapa sewn by my grandmother. So what they used to do is they would get cotton t-shirts just all wrapped together and then sew them and make these lovely carpets, jarapas. A lot of them are made in Alpujarras, in Granada, in that lovely mountain area.
And what you don't see here is a door that was here. So when we bought this apartment, it had a small kitchen and it had, well, it did have a second bathroom actually. I forgot all about it. But what it did have was a hallway with a toilet in it. It was a hallway that you entered here, it ran through and took you out to the terrace, and to get through the door out to the terrace, you had to scoot around a toilet. It was very odd. I couldn't figure out if it was by design or just whatever, but we got rid of that and we extended the kitchen. So no more toilet hallway.
So this was the bathroom and we just did it up, and there was a hydro massage shower, huge shower.
Those things never work. It looks like a teleportation pod.
Can't handle it. It's like no way. So we changed that for a bathtub. Oh hi.
So what was the thinking behind getting the bathtub?
Bathtubs are cool, aren't they? Not that we've used them.
That's the most you've been in the bathtub the entire time
I think so. But hey, we've only been here for what, almost 2 months now, so I'm sure we will get there. It's just lovely to like live in a house where there is that possibility of like taking a bath, even if you never actually take one.
I like the theory. So this is where I come to spend quiet time on the stool. Not really. So I'm sat here because I want to tell you that yes, we do have a bidet. We debated whether to have a bidet or not. They're not
for a long time, weeks.
Weeks, months, years. I feel like I've spent my whole life debating whether we should have a bidet or not. In the end, we have one, but we have one to water plants.
Yeah.
Right? Is that why we have it?
That's what I use it for, yeah.
Watering plants. So we have a bidet. Sometimes you wash your feet. One of the most niche questions we got is, what is the water pressure like in your shower? So I thought, I need to answer that one. We need to entertain that one. So here you go, in its full glory, the water pressure in our shower. Stand back.
Would you say it's pretty good?
Let us know, is that living up to expectations?
And this is the guest room. This is where you guys will be sleeping when you come and stay.
And the sofa was facing the wardrobe.
Yeah, so it was just like, you would just sit down here and look at it.
And apparently the woman who lived here used to sit on that sofa.
Yeah, to relax. So I'm very proud of this room because my dad is a carpenter, so I took on the task of building all this furniture that we ordered from IKEA, and I think I did pretty well. Yeah, you know, I mean, it took hours. This guy here, this took like about 6 or 7 hours. Yeah. It was a huge task, but I love it.
And this hat is what I call my giddy hat. So this is a very the Englishman abroad in Spain kind of hat, and I bought it 4 million years ago in New Zealand, and I thought, you know, I had the images of myself kind of all in linen and wearing these and wandering around the Mediterranean. And it is the biggest pain in the ass ever because...
You never use it?
I never use it because I feel a bit of a cliche, I guess. And also, it's a nightmare to travel with. So we have moved countries and I gotta wear the hat on the plane because I can't pack it. So maybe it's time for me to get into it. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I do the hat? Is it a terrible cliche or is it kind of like a look that I can run with?
It suits you.
Yeah? Oh, there you are. Welcome to my office. I say my office because it's kind of our office, Yoly's office as well, but she doesn't really spend any time here. As you saw, she hangs out in the lounge to avoid me, and she likes the light or something to do with that.
So tell me about it. I don't know why you like it so much.
I kind of love this room. Until recently, I was working in the lounge as well, but then I tidied it up. I kind of gave it some structure. And this room, it was previously the previous owner's bedroom, but it has a lot of richness, I think. So I want to give you the full tour, so follow me. So one of the questions someone said is, where do you keep your wine? And although it was a brief question through Instagram messaging, I got the undertone that this person thinks I have a serious wine collection, almost like a cellar. What I do have is one of these, a wine fridge that doesn't work. So if you look a little closely in there, if you get in there, Yoly, you will see some strange rust colors.
Oh no.
I don't know what's going on. I emailed them, haven't replied, probably on holiday. So normally I would keep some wine in here, but currently I think we have about half a bottle and it's in the fridge in the kitchen. So this is where I want to keep my wine. Keep coming this way. Behind this broken plate, there is a gift that one of Yoly's friends made her, which is, I mean, you can read it, it's in English. The best show ever, Yolanda Flamenca and James Jaime El Kiwi. Now, it lights up.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
I do look like Donald Trump here. It's something to do with the hair, but apart from that, it's great. Yoly and I quite like awkward photos. So here's a very awkward photo of us taken, just a snapshot when we were visiting some friends in Catalonia. And it's just random. I'm doing this odd arm outreach. Yoly's falling over. And I don't know, sees a beautiful color. I think we look good. Awkward, but good.
It's cool.
So the other thing that we're gonna put in the office are all the pictures and paintings
that I don't like.
Yeah, pretty much. That Yoly won't allow in other parts of the house. So to my left, I have a naval ship with lots of colorful flags on it. I like boats and I like color. Below, I have a very colorful wine map. And over here, I have one of the oldest, most extensive maps of Madrid. It's a 16th century map by a guy called Teixeira.
That one I love. I love that one.
Very cool. Although that one's in an IKEA frame. They're crap. Don't buy them. It's falling apart. I tell Yoly that when you frame a picture, you got to spend money. We have a little bit of a debate on that. She thinks we should still do IKEA framing, but no. So what's my thing with color and boats? Boats, I have no idea because I'm not good on boats. I'm a bit scared of them. Color, because I'm colorblind, which doesn't mean that I see black and white like a dog. It does mean it does mean that I get blues and purples mixed up and reds and greens. And it means that generally my vision, the colors that I see are more faded. Grab your phone now and Google strawberry colorblind comparison. And an image will come up that will show you how I see strawberries, and it will make you very depressed. Yoly gets very sad and cries every time she sees it because I'm seeing the world in faded colors. But that's why I like bright colors, because I can't really tell the intensity. So I do want to get those glasses where they do make YouTube videos where people cry when they put them on, but they're quite expensive. So another day. So here are all my business books. Well, and some of Yoly's translation ones, but mainly my business books. Yoly doesn't like these books, so they go in the office as well because they're a bit boring about business. And on my left, clothes, because we don't have a wardrobe in the bedroom yet. Exactly. So soon that will be hopefully covered in even more business books. So speaking of my insatiable desire to read books and be a lifelong learner, I did want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Skillshare. So this is quite a big deal because I get approached now and again to have a sponsor for a video, but usually I say no because the sponsors don't really align with my values, or they're not a service or a product I use. In this case, I have been a Skillshare member for the last year or so. So if you don't know what Skillshare is, it's an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. Explore new skills, develop existing interests, and get lost in creativity. As someone who runs their own business, well, businesses with Devour and with YouTube, I've been doing courses on entrepreneurship, marketing, personal branding, and the things I'm learning are really helping me figure this strange time out, figuring out kind of how to pivot. The courses on Skillshare are a great way to kind of stretch and expand yourself into new areas that you might not normally know about. In the early days of this channel, I actually tried to design merchandise, and I designed t-shirts with a kiwi on them. A kiwi is where I'm from, but it has nothing to do with what this channel is about, which is from Spain, so I got it completely wrong. So when Yoly was away last week, I sat down on the terrace with a glass of wine and I went through this entire Skillshare course by this guy called Aaron Draplin. I didn't know him, he's this big guy with this big beard, and this guy is a design guru, and this course was all about how to make merch from ideation right to the final product. I have a dream to make t-shirts or posters that really reflect kind of vintage Spain and hidden Spain. And so going through this course and learning how I can take an idea, how I can get it kind of screen printed or get it onto a poster was kind of amazing. So if you're not sure what's next, there's lots of productivity classes that can help you set achievable goals. And there are also drawing and writing classes, which can just really help you manage stress and feel more connected. Skillshare is giving away 2 months of premium membership to the first 1,000 people who click the link in the description box to help you start exploring your creativity. After that, it's around €10 a month or so. So click the link and join me over there on Skillshare.
This is a lovely kitchen, a massive step up from the kitchen that we had before. You will know it from previous videos that we did. And we're very, very pleased. This is kind of like my favorite room really, because it's just like, I think we put a lot of love in designing it. I spent a whole month on Pinterest just looking at references. So it's way bigger than the previous kitchen because it used to just be this, but we added the corridor toilet thingy.
So the toilet used to be...
The toilet was right here. Can you sit
on the toilet? Yeah.
Here. So someone will be here on the toilet and then you will need to like walk past them to go to the terraza.
Interesting. So, Yoly, is that a wood bench top?
No, it's not. So this is polyceramico. It's a material that imitates wood in this case, but it's not. So have a listen.
Ooh, don't break it.
I would never break it, it's unbreakable. So if you're cooking, you can just switch it off and then just grab it and put it straight here.
So you can put heat on it.
It won't burn, it won't burn. So it's great. It wasn't cheap either.
I tried to test it and Yoly told me I'm not allowed to test it because...
You never know.
You never know. So, but we did once have a wooden bench top and they look beautiful, but they're a nightmare.
They're a nightmare.
They're a nightmare.
Yeah.
So, or maybe they're not. Maybe we should have a cheap one. I don't know.
No.
So, polyceramic, guys, don't know what that is. Yeah, we never even heard of it, but probably made it up. So one thing we had an idea of at some point, I have no idea where it came from, is to put a light along here so that when we're making food videos or cooking videos here and at night or something like that, we can put this light on and it'll light up the food. It was always a bit of a challenge in the other kitchen. Everything was always a bit dark. There was no natural light. So I thought it was for YouTubers. It's just for people who cook. So anyway, we got that. It's cool. So when I grew up in New Zealand, we had what we called the wash house, which is the laundry. And a lot of people are often surprised that here in Spain, your washing machine is in the kitchen. And you know, they're in the kitchen. I don't know if this has a dryer function. I don't think it does, but nobody has dryers in Spain, right?
Not really, no.
I'm sure I'm just gonna get flamed by all the people who do have dryers in Spain now. The subsection of people who have dryers in Spain and watch Spain Revealed and comment.
It's about 5 of them.
Yeah, all 5. So we just dry stuff outside or you hang it up inside, but washing machine always in the kitchen.
Here we have our lovely oven. I won't open it because it exploded the other day. We were going to cook some potatoes in it, so we preheat it for 5 minutes and then in went the potatoes for another 5 minutes and then it went boom! Boom! And actually it's been a bit of a nightmare with the oven. So the first time that it was installed, the whole electricity in the apartment just went and then they sort of fixed that and then it burst.
So we got an oven poltergeist?
I think so.
So Yoly, there's been a lot of questions about the tiles.
Well, we had a lot of love about the tiles and they're gorgeous, they're just beautiful. We chose it in this place, Venga, and just went there and they're just so colorful. Of course, James likes colors, so that's his influence. He saw this one and said, that's the one I want. Same story with the bathrooms. They have a bit of a Portuguese vibe. To me as well, Almodovar, so I like to think that I live in an Almodovar film.
Oh, well, our lives aren't that dramatic. So I think this is a good moment to address multicultural relationships because I was reflecting at breakfast this morning that I think in multicultural relationships like Yoly and I have, most differences are revealed by the time you've had breakfast. Would you agree?
So pretty early on, I guess.
You think so?
Yeah.
Pretty early on morning 1, day 1 of a relationship. So this morning for breakfast I had this, which is oats.
Birdseed.
Camera's not focusing on it. And Yoly had...
Let me clarify first that this is not my breakfast every day. I have other things, but this is what I had today.
A big, dirty supermarket bought chocolate Napolitana.
Delicious.
So it would make me feel disgusting. How would you feel if you had this for breakfast, Yoly?
It makes me feel sad, but I do have it often.
Great, so you usually feel sad. And then when it comes to the coffee, I have started using this because I'm a wannabe hipster, and I think the coffee tastes better. It's softer,
watered down, whatever you want to call it. And I like to use my Bialetti.
I think Yoly likes to use that because she refuses out of stubbornness to learn how to use this thing.
Takes too long. Takes too long.
The other stuff makes acidic coffee. So as you can see, breakfasts are challenging in a multicultural household. So the coup de grace, or is it gras? I'm not quite sure. But whatever it is, it's the terrace, right? This was pretty important.
It was a deal breaker for me, and this is actually why we took a year to find an apartment with a terraza of these characteristics. It's huge though, so it needs, it's too big. So we need to figure out a few sections. We need to divide it in, you know, section for plants, veggie garden maybe.
I mean, it's about 3 hectares. No, it's not. It's 50 square meters. And so, I mean, we started the video here with coffee this morning, and that's how we do. And then we often finish with a glass of wine here in the evening. So cheers.
Cannot be here during the central hours of the day. No way.
Not in the middle of summer. In other parts of the year, that's okay. So really, we're gonna need some advice from you guys about what to do here because we're a little lost, to be honest. So we want more plants at some point though, right? We have like 4.
Yeah, we don't have many. I mean, we do have quite a lot, but the place is so big that it doesn't look like many at all.
One question that came up, Yoly, was do we feel observed here?
I actually don't, but I have a very low sense of embarrassment, I guess, so I don't really mind. So
guys, we're gonna finish our wine, we're gonna cook some dinner, Yoly's gonna finish the watering, and then we're just gonna hang out for the evening. So thank you for hanging out in our home today and checking it out. If you got any questions or comments, drop them below and we'll try and answer them, and we'll see you very soon.
See you.
Signing off from Spain Revealed.
Ciao.
Bye.